Hey guys! This week's theme is what are we afraid of, and I'm wearing this weird ass makeup for two reasons. I didn't do a tutorial for it, I just kind of ended up doing like a smoky eye and then it ended up kind of like failing a little bit. So I just went with it and made kind of like a ghoulish, you can't really see it that much on camera, but I used like extreme contouring and like a white matte highlight, and like the smoky eye went a little overboard, and then I did this weird little ombre lip thing. I don't know. This week's theme is what scares us, and I really like this theme because on the way home I was thinking about like what scares me and what am I afraid of, and it turns out I'm afraid of a lot of things. I'll start out with like the traditional like Halloween scary things. When it comes to scary movies, the only ones that really scare me anymore are the ones that are like based on true events. So like the Mothman prophecy scares the shit out of me, and like Texas Chainsaw Massacre actually really does scare me, even though it's ridiculous. Like, cause that actually happened. Like, things that actually happened in scary movies scare me. As far as like aliens and stuff and other ghosty things, those don't really scare me. I'm really intrigued by ghosts. I'm kind of obsessed with them a little bit, so it doesn't really scare me at all anymore. Like, The Ring is still one of the scariest movies ever, and like The Sixth Sense. When I saw The Sixth Sense when I was a kid, freaked me out. I had to go home. I had to call my mom, she had to come pick me up from a friend's house, but in like real life things that scare me, I am afraid of small spaces. I'm extremely claustrophobic, and I guess more of it has to do with the fear of getting stuck in a small place, because like when I'm getting an MRI, I'm not afraid of like the tight quarters because there's like holes at the end of it and I know that I'm gonna like get out, but I'm afraid of getting like trapped in a small space because it is scary and I can't get out and there's only a certain amount of oxygen in a small space, which leads me to the next thing that I'm afraid of. Drowning! Oh, I cannot think of a worse way to die than drowning. The worst way to die that I can think of is drowning, because like when you get shot, unless you see it coming, like you're like, oh shit, I got shot, and you go into shock and then you die. Or if you get stabbed, like that sucks, but if somebody's gonna stab you in the heart, you're gonna die. But drowning is literally you're just waiting for yourself to lose all of the oxygen in your body. Like, that's just terrifying. Like, the idea of, like, I've never thought about the prospect of me drowning because I think I'm a pretty good swimmer, but the idea that I could just, like, lose all of my oxygen and, like, not be able to keep myself alive is so scary, because it's like, you're just letting yourself die. Like, unless somebody is physically drowning you, you're just, like, letting yourself die, and you are you're entirely aware of the last moments of your life, and it's so scary. Like, I would much rather be shot. I'm afraid of drowning. Except I love swimming, but because I'm a good swimmer, and I don't know. I'm afraid of the dark. I will admit it. I'm afraid of the dark. That's really the only thing that freaks me out when I'm home alone. I was home alone by myself all last week. My mom and dad went to Kentucky and my sister isn't home. So it was just me and my dog, who's basically helpless. So I was at home watching American Horror Story all last week at like 1 in the morning, staying up till 3 in the morning watching ghost shows, and it was a bad idea because it just freaked me out because I kept hearing noises and it was dark. I don't like the dark. I don't like not being able to see where I'm going. I don't like hearing things from the dark and like having to go into the dark to find out what is happening. Kind of going off of that, I'm kind of just afraid of being by myself in spaces, and like, I mean, when I'm at home, I don't like being home alone. When I'm like walking in my car, I don't like walking in my car by myself. Part of that, I think it just kind of comes from the culture that women are more vulnerable, sadly enough. I mean, like when my mom sent me to shows by myself for the longest time, she's like, oh, you should take somebody with you. And I was like, Mom, it's fine. I'm leaving a show with other people. Like, I'm not with the other people, but there are other people leaving the show. But if I have to like walk somewhere where there is no, like 1 in the morning where there's nobody else there to my car, it's scary, because I mean, my car got broken into a few months ago. Like, don't like being home alone at nighttime. Like, I don't mind being home alone during the day, but for some reason I just don't like being home alone overnight. I mean, scary movies don't freak me out. Like, gory stuff does not scare me. Like, maybe it's just because I've become so desensitized. I've watched so much Law and Order SVU that like, and CSI, that like seeing death and gore and stuff on television, it's not that big of a deal anymore. And so like, it's just like the suspense thrillers that scare me. Like The Ring was freaking creepy, okay? Not a whole lot happened in The Ring, but it was just the suspense and the tension and the just sitting there waiting for something to happen. It's like the waiting for something to happen is the worst than the thing that's actually happening. I'm afraid of driving in the ice because here it gets really, really bad, and there's been multiple car accidents in my family caused by ice, so that's scary. I don't like doing that. That sucks. I don't like that. Yeah, I can't think of anything else that scares me, to be honest. See you guys next week. Yeah. Bye, guys!